Good evening, folks. Um, excuse me. It's your bro, It's your bro, Rich here. Uh, Tonight in this video, it is now part 4 on the Pontiac Firebird. In tonight's video, I'll be talking to you about the next version, which is the Gen 4 Firebird from 1993 to 2002. So, before I start, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you don't make brain uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the Gen 4 Firebird from 1993 to 2002. Here we go. The final years of the Pontiac Trans Am. Well, Firebird technically. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So, Gen 4 Firebird from 1993 to 2002. So, overview as always is first. So let's begin. Just this real quick before I start. A little bit crooked, but whatever. So, overview as always is first. So let's begin. So, production was between November 1992 to August 30th, 2002. Model years from 93 to 02. So 1993 to 2002. So 1993 to 2002. Next up is the assembly, which is at the Saint Therese assembly at the off-island suburb northwest of Montreal in southwestern Quebec. So Saint Therese assembly in Saint Therese, Quebec. In the largest province of Quebec. I can pronounce it. In Canada. So in Canada. So in Canada. So this car was Canadian. Well, even though it's from even though it is an American car, it was built by the Canadians and styled by the Americans. I like that Canadian American combo, which is pretty good. So at the Saint Therese assembly in Saint Therese, Quebec, Canada. So Quebec, Canada. Designer was John Fulden. Body and chassis next. Body style. Two types you can choose from a from a two-door is either a liftback or a convertible. Platforms and F body. So platforms and F body. It's related to the Gen 4 Camaro. Powertrain is next. Alright, powertrain is next. For the motors, we got six different engines. two of which are V6s, the rest of them are V8s. So we got both a 3.4 liter, 3.4 liter 207, and a 3.4 liter 207 um L32, and a 3.8 liter 3.8 liter um 3.8 liter, so 3.8 liter 231, um so we got a 3.4 liter 207 L32, so 3.4 liter 207 L32, and we got a 3.8 liter 231 L36, both V6s. Differences of power. The L32 made 160 horsepower. So the L32 made 160 horsepower. The L36, meanwhile, made 205 horsepower. 45 horsepower more. I mean, it's not much. I mean, it is a big difference. But power output might not be that much, but I mean, this is better than the previous V6, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, now we're getting down to the V8s. So bear in mind, all these V8s are 5.7 liter 350. Now we're down to the main four motors, the big V8s. Now bear in mind, all those four V8s I'm gonna be talking to you all about are all exactly the same, but they're a little bit different. What I mean by that is the size. They're all 5.7 liter 350, 5.7 liter 350 V8 motors. The only difference is the name of the V8s and the power output. So, starting off with the first one is the LT1, which made between 275 to 305 horsepower. Then we got the LT4, which made 300 330 horsepower. Then we got the LS1, which made between 305 to 330 horsepower. Then we got the big engine itself, the SLP Firehawk LS1, the SLP Firehawk SL, so the SLP Firehawk LS1, which made between 345 to 345 to 300 to so 345 to 350 horsepower. Pretty good. Out of all those motors, I picked the LT1, specifically the SLP Firehawk, one of the best. All right, so gearboxes is next. There's 4 different versions: 2 automatic, 2 manual. Bear in mind the automatic is exactly the same. The 4-speed, so it's a THM 4L60, 4-speed automatic. There's a first one from 1993. Then we got the same gearbox, but the E version. So it's not as the it's the same THM 4L60, but this time it's an E version of that one, of that 4-speed auto. But this one was from 1994 to 2002. Now we got the mighty, the proper gearboxes itself, the manuals. So we got a Borg Warner T5, a 5-speed manual for the V6. Then we got For the V8 only, my most favorite one, the BorgWarner T56. So the BorgWarner T56, a six-speed manual for the V8, perfect. Alright, next up is dimensions. So wheelbase goes in at wheelbase goes in at 2568 millimeters, 101.1 inches in wheelbase. Length, so for the first one we got is the Firebird from 93 to 97. That goes in at 4968 millimeters, 195.6 inches. Then we got the 9802 Firebird, slightly shorter, 4910 millimeters, 193.3 inches. Then we got the Trans Am. Starting off with the first one is from 93 to 97, which that goes in at 5,004 millimeters, dead on straight at 197 inches. Then we got the 9899 Trans Am, which that goes in at 4,923 millimeters, 193.8 inches. So that's 13 millimeters, 0.5 inches longer than the 9802 Firebird. Excuse me. So 4,923 millimeters, 193.8 inches. And then we got the 2000 to 02 Trans Am, which is slightly shorter. That goes in only at just 4,920 millimeters, 193.7 inches. So 3 millimeters, 0.1 inch shorter than the 9899 Trans Am. So 2000 to 02 Trans Am. The 4,920 millimeters, 193.7 inches. Next up is width. It goes in that between 1890 to 1892 millimeters, 74.4 to 74.5 inches. So 1890 to 1892 millimeters, 74.4 to 74.5 inches. Yeah. So 1890 to 1892 millimeters. So 1890 to 1892 millimeters, 74.4 to 74.5 inches. Reason being of why there is a 2 millimeter 0.1 inch difference is because the one from 1993 to 1997, because the one from 93 to 97 is slightly wider. Because we're on width, so it's slightly wider than the one in 1998 to 2002. Only by 2 millimeters, a 0.1 inches. But not too bad for width, not too bad. Alright, so we're done motor, transmission, wheel dimensions, wheelbase length, width. So between 1890 to 1892 millimeters, 74.4 to 74.5 inches. Say the one from 93 to 97 is 2 millimeters, 0.1 inch longer than the one in 1988 to 2002. Next up is height. So height. Okay, so height. Starting off with the first one is the Firebird. That goes in there between 1300 to 1321 millimeters, 51.2 to 1052 inches. Reason being of why there's a 21 millimeter 0.8 inch difference is because the Firebird, there's two types of different versions of the Firebird. The one from 93 to the one from 1993 to 1999 is slightly higher. Wait. So with between 1890 to 1892 millimeters, 74.4 to 74.5, 74.4 to 74.5 inches. For that, the 9397 car is 2 millimeters, so 2 millimeters, 0.1 inch wider than the one in 1998 to 2002. Next up is height. So starting off with the first one is the Firebird. That goes in that 1300 to 1321 millimeters, 51.2 to 52 inches. The reason why there's a 21 21 millimeter 0.8 inch difference is because the Firebird from 1993 to 1999 is slightly higher than the one from 2000 to 2002. Next is the Trans Am. So starting off with the first one is from 1993 to 1995. The Trans Am. So 1993 to 1995 Trans Am. That goes in at 1313 millimeters, 51.7 inches. Then we got the 96-99 version of the Trans Am, 1321 millimeters. So 93-95 Trans Am goes in at 1313 millimeters, 51.7 inches. Then we got the 96-99 Trans Am which is 96-99 Trans Am, which that goes in at 1321 millimeters, 52 inches straight. Then we got the 2002 version of the Trans Am, the most modern version, and the latest version of that one, well, at that time. Now the car's like 20 plus years old. Hardly new anyway. I forget where I was now. Damn. I'm gonna start from the beginning for height. So For heights, we got the first two Firebirds, one from 1993 to 1999. Then we got another one from 2000 to 2002, between 1300 to 1300 to 1321 millimeters, 51.2 to dead on straight at 52 inches. So the 93-99 version is 21 millimeters, 0.8 inches higher than the one in 2000-2002. Zero in height. We've got three versions of the Trans Am. So the first one is from 1993 to so the first one is from 1993 to 1985. That goes in at 1313 millimeters, 51.7 inches. Then we got the 96-99 version, which that goes in at is a little bit higher, 1321 millimeters, 52 inches. Then we got the 2000 to 2002 version, which that goes in at 1316 millimeters, 51.8 inches. Then we got the 93-99 Firebird. Then we got the Firebirds, so there's two different versions. So we got the one from 1993 to 1999, then the other one from 2000 to 2002. So it's between 1316 to 1339 millimeters. So 1316 to 1339 millimeters, 51.8 to 52.7 inches. So it's the 93-99 version. So 93-99 version is 23 millimeters, 0.9 inches longer. Well, not longer, higher, sorry. So the one from 93 to 99 is 23 millimeters, 0.9 inches higher than the one in 2000 2002. So 1316 to 1339 millimeters, 51.8 to 52.7 inches. Then we got the convertible version of the Trans Am from 94 to 99. So 1994 to 1999, which that goes in at 1331 millimeters. So 1331 millimeters. So 1331 millimeters, 52.4 inches. Last result not the release, which is pretty easy to know. The curb weight is between 14 and between 3284 to 3440 pounds. So 3284 to 3440 pounds, which that goes in between 1490 to 1560 kilos. Reason being of why there is a 100. Let me just say this up. 156 pound, 70 kilo difference there is because they're both 5.7 liters, both coupes. Reason being is because the LS1 motor, so the LT1 motor actually is heavier than the LS1, which that one's lighter, so lighter than the LT1. So It's because of the weight difference. So the LT1 is heavier. So the LT1 is heavier than the LS1. So than the LS1. All right. Starting off. All right. So let's move on. So Gen 4 9302. Here we go. So so the Gen 4 Firebird um amplified the amplified the aerodynamic styling um initiated by the Gen 3, the previous generation Pontiac, while the live while both the live rear axle and floor pan bit uh the floor pan AFT on the front seats remained largely the same. 90% 90%, so 9 out of 10, 90% of the Firebirds 90% of the Firebirds parts were all new. So 90% of the Firebirds parts were all new, apart from the remaining 10%, which is still the same. Sorry. So, which means the 10% were just still the same original used parts. Overall, the styling of the Firebirds more strongly, strongly reflected. So overall, the styling of the Firebird more strongly reflected the Banshee 4 concept, the Banshee 4 the Banshee 4 concept car um than the 1991 facelift did. As with the Camaro, major improvements included many of these components, which are pretty good. So it had decent amount of parts. So we had major improvements included standard dual airbags. So standard dual airbags, four-wheel anti-lock brakes, 16-inch wheels, rack and pinion steering, so rack and pinion power steering. Sorry, short slash long arm uh, front suspension, and several non rusting uh, composite body panels. Throughout it throughout its Gen 4 trim levels included the V6 V6 Firebird V6 V6 powered Firebird included the V6 Firebird, V6 Firebird, V8 Formula, and Trans Am. Standard manuals were the 5-speed T5 manual for the V6s, uh, a six a six speed 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 Borg Warner T so 6-speed Borg Warner T56 manual, so 6-speed Borg Warner T56 6-speed Borg Warner T 6-speed Borg Warner T56 manual for the V8 for the V8s. The four speed 4L60 automatic was optional for both in 1993 during the early 90s. becoming the 4L60E with a built-in electronic controls in 1994. So in 1994. Next versions we got. So the first versions we got is 1993, 1993 to 1997. So from 93 till 95. So from 93 to 95. This is what a 1995 non-California non-California cars. Firebirds received a 3.4 liter 207 L32 V6, an enhanced version of the Gen 3's 3.1 liter V6, presumably the same. Beginning mid-year 1995 onward, a series 2 version of the 3.8 liter V6 with 200 horsepower became the Firebird's sole motor. Not as such, but well, from 93 until 93 until 97. The sole motor for both the Formula and Trans Am was the 5.7 liter 350 was the 5.7 liter 350 LT1. So it was the 5.7 liter 350 LT1 V8, essentially identical to the LT1 in the C4 Corvette, named after an explosive device. Essentially identical to the LT1 V8 in the Corvette C4. So Corvette C4, except for both more flow restrictive intake and exhaust systems. Steering wheel audio controls were included with optional up-level either cassette or composite DVD disc stereo systems. Starting with 94 model year cars. So these are cars from 1984. These are cars from the start of very early. So the start of 1984. So the start of very early 1984. So beginning with 94 model year cars, Delco 2001 series stereo systems. Stereo systems produced. So stereo systems replaced the previous Delco units. This revised series introducing. So this revised series also introduced. This revised series also introduced for other Pontiac car lines. Also introduced for other Pontiac car lines, featured ergonomically designed control panels with larger buttons and an optional seven band graphic equalizer. It's an equalizer. It's a graphic equalizer. Also in 1994, the Gen 4 convertible was available. Every Firebird and Camaro convertible featured a glass rear window with a built-in electronic. So with a built-in electric, sorry, with a built-in electric defroster. So with a built-in electric with a built-in electric defroster, the 1995 model years. So the 1995 model, the 19 so the 1995 models were the same as those of previous years, but traction control, even ASR, acceleration, slip regulation was available for LT1 Firebirds controlled by a switch on the console. The steering wheels in all Firebirds were the steering wheels in all Firebirds were also changed. So the steering wheels in all Firebirds were changed. Um, their optional built-in built-in audio controls were grouped on more closely grouped on each side. The Trans Am GT, Trans Trans Am Trans Am GT, Trans Am GT trim levels dropped. So it was dropped from the lineup from the lineup from the lineup after its model year run in 1984. For 1980 for 1985. So the mid 90s, all Trans Ams received both 155-mile-an-hour speedometers and Z-rated tires. 1985's also the first year. So the mid 90s was the first year of the vented version of the OptiSpark or OSD OptiSpark distributors. So OptiSpark distributors on LT1F cars, addressing a common mechanical fault with the unit. The transmission performance buttons available only in both the 94 and 94 in both the 94 and 94 95 both Formula and Trans Am. This option was stopped for the 96 and later models, but the unused connections remained available for both the 96 and 97 Formula and Trans Am cars. So Formula and Trans Am, while 95 cars, so 1985 cars, still used the OBD, the OBD1 onboard diagnostics computer system. The last year of any American car, including the F body, to use OBD1. A majority of them had OBD2, so OBD2 onboard diagnostics 2 connector ports under the dash. Firebird performance levels improved for 1986 with the establishment of the stronger 3.8 liter V6, so the 3.8 liter 200 horsepower V6 as the new base motor, and the power rating of the LT1 increased to 200, and the power rating of the LT1 increased to 285 horsepower for 1986. So for 1986, it was not that bad. So for 1986, due to its new dual catalytic converter exhaust system, so it technically has two catalytic converters on the exhaust system. 1986 was also the first model year of the OBD2 computer system. So OBD2 computer system. Optional performance enhancements were available for each Firebird trim level. The Y87 performance packs for V6s added mechanical features of the V8 setups, such as four-wheel brake rotors, faster response steering, faster response steering, low slip LSD differential, and dual tailpipes for both formulas and transams. So for both formulas and transams, functional dual inlet ram air hoods returned as part of the WS6 performance pack. The optional pack boosted rated horsepower just by 20 horsepower more, but still it's not too bad, from 285 to 305 horsepower, and torque from 375 pound-feet to 335, so around 20 horsepower, 10 pound-feet more than previously. So torque from 325 to 335 pound-feet. Also included were 17 by 9-inch wheels with 275/40, so 275/40 ZR17 tires, ZR17 tires, suspension improvements, oval shaped dual tailpipe exhaust tips, and a WS6 badge. Bilstein shock absorbers was a further option with the pack. The 97 model year introduced standard air conditioning, daytime running lights, utilizing the front turn signal lights, digital odometer, and optional 500-watt monsoon cassette or composite disc stereo systems to all Firebird trim levels. Excuse me. For V6 Firebirds, a W68 or a W68 sport Sport appearance packs also also introduced as a counterpart to the Camaro RS trim level. The WS6 Ram Air performance packs now available as an option for both the Formula and Tran Formula and Trans Am convertibles. Although these convertibles didn't receive, so they did not receive the 17-inch wheel and tire combo. There are 41 um, Formula and 400 and 463 Trans Am both convertibles produced from 1996 until 1997 with the WS6 pack. Next up is 1998 to 2002. So in 1987, in relation to the Camaro, the Firebird received a mid-cycle refresh for the 98 model year. Major changes included both new hood and front fascia with dual intakes, retracting quad halogen headlights, so retracting quad halogen headlights, circular turn signals and fog lights, front license plate, pocket, well, cover typically, lower fender air vents, unified style lower door raised lettering for each trim level, and a new honeycomb rear light panel with circular reverse lights. In the dashboard, next generation reduced force dual dual airbags became standard. As before, both the Formula and Trans Am again received a close derivative of the Corvette's 5.7 liter 350 V8, so 5.7 liter V8, the LS1 of the Corvette C5. Of the Corvette C5 or C5 Corvette, whatever you want to call it, as the LT1, and also of course the LT4s. Both those V8s were discontinued. The LS1 Firebirds were also equipped with an aluminum drive shaft, replacing the previous steel cast iron steel version, while all Firebird trim levels gained four-wheel brake rotors with dual piston front calipers and larger rotors at each wheel, complete with a solenoid-based Bosch anti-lag system. The Formula convertible was no longer offered, unfortunately. Starting in 1998 for 1999 models, a standard 16.8 gallon, so a standard 16 by 8 inch, well, 17 gallon, no, sorry, 16 by 8 or 17 gallon non-metallic gas tank increased the potential traveling range. GM's ASR traction control traction control system. So traction control systems. Uh, the GM's ASR traction control systems extended to the V6 Firebirds. So V6 Firebirds and all both LS1 V8, so LS1 V8, so LS1 V8 and Y, so LS1 V8 and Y87 V6 Firebirds also received a ZXL or ZEXEL slash Torsen 2 slip Torsen 2 slip reduction rear axle. So rear axle. So Firebirds also received a ZXL slash Torsen 2 lunar slip reduction rear axle. So slip reduction rear axle. And EBD electronic brake force distribution system replaced the old hydraulic proportioning valve for improved braking performance and enhanced both sensing and diagnostics, or SDM module. So SDM sensing and diagnostics module recorded vehicle speed, engine RPM, vehicle speed, engine, RPM, throttle throttle position, and brake use in the last 5 seconds prior to airbag development. In 1999, a Hurst shifter for variants with a 6-speed, both a 6-speed manual, so both the 6-speed manual and power steering, cooler became options for LS1 Firebirds. In 2000, the WS6 pack, the WS6 Performance Pack, was available exclusively for the 2001 model year Trans Am, so that 2001 model year Trans Am coupe and convertible variants. In 2002, in 2000, the WS6 Performance Packs available exclusively for the 2001 model year Trans Am coupe and convertible variants. In 2002, so 2 years later, more convenience items such as both power mirrors and power antenna became standard equipment, while cassette stereos were phased out completely. Alright, now we got the special editions. So we got the special editions, the Firehawk. But I figured we're gonna do that for another video, because I'm way too tired. I'm really gonna get sleepy if I keep doing this. Alright. so for my next continued Gen 4 Pontiac video will be about the special editions. Starting off with the first version is the Firehawk. So this is gonna be pretty cool. Alright, so that'll be it for tonight. So if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell, and hit all so you alert of when I make brand uploads. Alright, so that'll be it. I gotta go. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Till then, stay safe. Have a great evening. Ow. Till then, stay safe. Stay safe. Have a great evening. And have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So, 12:37. Alright, so if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you don't want to make brand uploads. Alright, so that'll be it. I gotta go. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Till then, stay safe. Have a great stay safe. Have a great morning, and also have a great have a great day as well. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So yeah, take care, folks. Take care, folks. Stay safe out there. Take care, folks. Stay safe out there. So take care, folks. Take care, folks. Stay safe out there. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon. Good night. Good night, guys. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. So good night, ladies and gentlemen.